Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are going to be continuing on from Friday's video, where we are going to be looking through all of the pickups from last week's boot fair video. And yeah, we have got a absolutely ginormous stack of games. Really looking forward to getting into it. I will say that I've already filmed the pickups part of the video, and it was only when editing that I realised that the times were just going to run on for too long, so that's why I ended up splitting it up. So what we'll do is we will jump over to past Stuart, and yeah, we'll go through all of the pickups from the boot fair. Okay, so that is going to wrap up our trip to the boot fair, and yeah, I have to say we have got an absolute stack of games. It is literally just games today. There's nothing else. Oh, one thing that's not games, but that's a small little thing. But yeah, in general, we have got a whole stack of games. So I'm going to dive straight in and look at the first bundle that we picked up. So this was a bundle of DS games, and there are what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 games that we picked up. I think in with that there are a couple of doubles, but there's also quite a few that we don't already have in the collection. So the first one that we've got was Sabutio. So yeah, this is basically the tabletop football game. Yeah, I knew it as a tabletop football game back in the 80s, and yeah, it has now got a digital version. So that one goes for £2 at CEX, £8 on eBay. Then we've got FIFA World Cup Germany 2006. Yeah, never seen this one before on any platform. So this one goes for £4 at CEX, £4.50 on eBay. What I will say is Sabutio didn't have the manual. This one does. Then you'll see a bit of a theme going on, as we've got Pro Evolution Soccer 2008. We've actually got this on a couple of different platforms now, but yeah, it was there in the pile. I'm not massively chasing sort of DS games. If I come across ones that I haven't got, 2 seconds, and go. If there's one that I haven't got, then I'll pick it up. But as I say, this was in with the bundle. So this one goes for £2.50 at CEX, £5 on eBay. Then we've got our first double, which is Puzzler Collection, thousands of puzzles. So this is a combination of word searches, Sudoku, crosswords, and whatever that one is. Yeah, we've already got one of these. We've already got a copy of this, sorry, on the DS. It sells for £1 at CEX, £2.50 on eBay, and would get a 30p voucher from CEX. So I'm going to stick the doubles up there. Then next up we've got another double, and this is 1000 Classic Books Collection. So this was a way for Nintendo to expand out what you could use your DS for, and they thought, why not make it into a ebook reader? Yeah, as I say, it's one that we've got in the collection. It's not one that I've ever used. I don't think I've ever even put it into my DS. This one goes for £1.50 at CEX, £2.50 on eBay, and trades in for a 10p voucher. Then next up we've got Real Football 2008. Yeah, as you can see, most of the games in this bundle were football games, but there are 1 or 2 that weren't. Yeah, literally not a lot at all. So yeah, once again, it's another sports game we didn't have in the collection. That one goes for £1 at CEX, £3 on eBay. And following on from that, we've also got Real Football 2009, which goes for £1.50 at CEX, £3.50 on eBay. Then another double, and this time it is FIFA 2010. This one goes for £2.50 at CEX, £4 on eBay, and trades in for an 80p voucher. So that one, we'll probably trade that in on our next CEX run. Then we've got Solitaire DS, another one that we don't currently have on the console. This one goes for $150 at CEX, £3 on eBay. And then the last two, we've got Professor Layton and the Curious Village. I will admit this was a game that I wanted for absolutely ages, and we have got it on the DS, but I just haven't had a chance to sit down and play it. I think I've played one or two of them, but not this one. So yeah, looking forward to getting into that at some point. But as I say, this one's a double. So this goes for £4 at CEX, £5 on eBay, and trades in for a $160 voucher. So that's a really good pickup. And then the final one that we got was actually a new game, and that is Horrid Henry. That goes for £4 at CEX, $4.50 on eBay. And then yeah, for all 11 games, we paid £2 for it. So yeah, to be quite honest, more than happy to do that. If you think with Professor Layton and FIFA 2010, we're going to get more than a £2 voucher on that. So just the voucher on them basically pays for the whole bundle. So yeah, as I say, there were quite a few sports titles in there, but they were essentially freebies to add into the collection. Okay, so next up, I think this was these bits I picked up towards the end of the boot fair. So the first bit that we've got is a PlayStation Move controller. This is the version 1, so this would be the one that come out during the PS3 era. Yeah, as I say, I have got these, don't need them. This was purely bought as trade fodder. So I paid £1 for that one. Goes for £15 at CEX, £16 on eBay, and trades in for a £10 voucher. So yeah, really chuffed with that one. Then also from the same seller, we got a copy of Metro Prime Hunters. This is the first hunt. This is cart only. We do currently have it in the collection. I think I've got it complete in box now. So yeah, once again, I'll be honest, I don't really know why I picked this up. I thought it might sell for a bit more on eBay than what it does. So paid £2 for it. Obviously, with it being cart only, couldn't do anything with it with CEX. But it sells for about £5 on eBay. So yeah, not really a lot I can do with that. But what I'll probably do is if I get hold of a DS that I end up flipping on eBay, then I'll probably chuck that in with that. And then the last game that we picked up from this seller, and literally I just picked it up because it was a Game Boy Color game. Didn't know anything about it, and it was only when I got home that realised actually this is probably one of the better pickups, if not the best pickup of the whole day. And that is Dire Katana on the Game Boy Color. So it is cart only, but looking it up online, it goes for stupid money. So ended up getting it for £2. It sells for £20 at CEX, cart only, and on eBay the average sale price is about £70. So yeah, really chuffed to have that in the collection. I haven't had a chance to capture gameplay footage for this one. Yeah, I will we'll chuck it in as and when I get time. And yeah, just interested to see what that one's like. I'm pretty sure I've heard of it, but I know I've never played it. That goes down there. Right, and then just quickly, the one bit that I got that wasn't gaming, so to speak, and that was a Sony memory card or Memory Stick Pro Duo. So this is essentially the memory card used for the PSP. And this actually come in a camera that I picked up for resale. So I took the memory card out and decided to keep hold of that because it was a 16 gig one. So I could put that in my PSP whenever I needed to. Looking them up online, they sell for about £20. So really chuffed to have that one. Right, so now moving on to a stack of PS4 games. And this was an absolutely amazing find. I have to admit, the credit for this find has to go to Nicky, because he did point it out to me. But one of the gaming resellers there, he essentially walked away from it, And yeah, as soon as I found out that he'd walked away, I think Nicky said that he'd seen it and walked away, so he went and got me. I went and had a look, and I pretty much just picked up the lot. So the first one that we've got is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Once again, all of these are doubles, so they're all going to be sort of CEX trade fodder. So this one works out that I paid £2 per game. So £6 at CEX, £7 on eBay, trades in for a £4 voucher. Then we've got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. That one sells for £12 at CEX, £12 on eBay, and trades in for an £8 voucher. Then we've got Cyberpunk 2077. So this was one that I expected. What's it now? Yeah, so it's gone down a bit since when I picked it up as well. I think when I picked it up, it was about £20–25 at CEX. Now it goes for £15 at CEX, £14 on eBay, but trades in for a £10 voucher, which is absolutely brilliant. Then we've got Far Cry Primal. Once again, that one is £6 at CEX, $5.50 on eBay, and trades in for a £4 voucher. And then the last game that I got in this bundle, I've left this game so many times, but obviously with the recent TV series, the prices have really gone up, and that is Fallout 76. So yeah, a game that I was really disappointed in. I absolutely loved the Fallout series, but yeah, this didn't really put a lot of time in. Well, I say I didn't put a lot of time. I put a lot of time into it, then left it, and I went back to it about 2 years later. It was a bit better, but still not great. This one now goes for £10 at CEX, £4 on eBay, and trades in for a £6 voucher. So yeah, just out of those 5 games, we are looking at 12, 22, 28, £32 in CEX vouchers from basically a £10 purchase. So really chuffed with that. And yeah, definitely going to put that towards a special CEX purchase that's going to be coming up in the future. Right, so moving on. Next up, we've got a PS3 game, and this is actually following on from the last one, because this is Fallout New Vegas, a game that I absolutely loved. I remember picking the special edition for this up on launch day. And yeah, spending hours playing it. This one, where did I put it? There you go. Paid £2 for it. Goes for £10 at CEX, £7 on eBay, and trades in for a £6 voucher, which is really good. And then another double. I actually bought this thinking that I didn't have it, but it's only once I got home, looked on the shelf, saw that it was there, and yeah, decided that we'll just get a trade in. That is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the Nintendo Wii U. So yeah, as I say, once I got home and saw it, then it sort of clicked that I knew that I had it, but just forgot about it at the boot fair. I think I saw the Wii U and I was like, no, it's Wii U, I need to grab it. And yeah, it was one that we already had. So that one, paid £2 for that, goes for £6 at CEX. £7 on eBay, and trades in for a £3 voucher. So we're not going to lose money on that, which is good. Right, next up we get back to some new games, and the first one that we've got is Monster Energy Supercross 5. I have to say, I am not a fan of motorbike games. The main reason for getting this was because we didn't have it in the collection. But yeah, playing it, I absolutely hated it, and I was literally doing the training level. Just could not get on with it. Literally every couple of seconds I'm falling off the bike, which is probably about right if I was to actually ride a bike in real life. So yeah, not one that I'm going to be putting too much time into. Paid £3 for that, goes for £10 at CEX, £8 on eBay, and at least I know if I do see it again, it will probably trade in for about a £6 voucher, which will be good. that goes down there. Right, next up, I found a double pack. So this was a Xbox One double pack, and the main reason for picking it up was just because I hadn't seen it before. So that is Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal double pack on the Xbox One. I'm pretty sure we've got both of these games already on the system. But yeah, as I say, the fact of finding the double pack, it's not really something I've seen too often. It's double packs on the Xbox One. So yeah, immediately picked that one up. That one paid £3 for it. Goes for £8 at CEX, £10 on eBay. Right, so next up, the next one, once again, this was another one that I originally bought it thinking that it would be good trade fodder. But it's only once I got home, realised that we didn't actually have it. And that is Rock Band on the Wii. So yeah, I am really surprised that we don't have this in the collection. But yeah, scanning the game through my app, this one come up as we didn't already have it. So yeah, really surprised at that one. So ended up paying 20p for that. Goes for 150 at CEX and 350 on eBay. And then technically this is going to be an upgrade. So this is Colin McRae Rally Dirt 2 on the PS3. And the reason I say it was an upgrade, because from what I can remember, we've got this disc only, but didn't have it complete in box. And I remember actually this was one of the very early pickups on the channel. So we were still in the old house, still doing really bad quality video, and yeah, I got a big bundle of PS3 games, and yeah, the disc for this was just sitting in there. So yeah, glad to finally have a copy of it that is complete in box. Once again, paid 20p for that one. Goes for 250 at CEX and £5 on eBay. Then next up, there is a particular seller that goes to the normal Sunday boot fair quite regularly. I've seen them sort of a fair amount of times there, and I was looking through some of the stuff they had there today, and yeah, decided to pick up. I mean, what they were doing is they were doing what was it? 5 games for £3 or something like that, I think it was. But yeah, saw a couple of interesting games, so decided to grab them. And the first two that we've got are actually some PSP games. So I can't remember the last time we actually picked up a PSP game. And the first one that we've got is Invisibles. So yeah, this looks like basically an augmented reality Pokemon style game. Reason that it's I'll get my words out in a minute. Augmented reality is it actually requires the PSP camera, which we have got one, and that was the big reason for picking this up, because I don't think I've got any other games that required a camera. So yeah, thought that was a nice little addition to the PSP collection. So it works out, I paid 84p for that. Goes for 50p at CEX and £3 on eBay. And then the other game that we got was Talkman. Talk Abroad with PSP. So this is basically a language converter. Once again, a bit like Nintendo with the book, like the e-book reader. This is basically a language translator to use with your PSP. But what makes this unique, and once again, what made me pick it up, was it actually comes with a little addition. So this is the PSP microphone. And yeah, once again, never ever seen this. So yeah, that was the main reason for picking this up. I had no clue at the time of picking it up what the actual game was. But yeah, seeing that it had that little microphone in there, I decided to pick it up because it was something a bit different. So once again, 84p for that, 50p at CEX and £4 on eBay. Then we've got a PS2 game, and this is G-Surfers. So this is essentially a Wipeout clone on the PS2. yeah, it's an okay racing game. I actually quite enjoyed playing it. I think during the gameplay for this, I think I finished third. So yeah, as I say, not a bad game. And what does make this one quite unique is it does actually come with a track editor. So on the disc, you can basically build and create your own tracks, save them to your memory card, and play them at a later point. I think you'll probably also be able to take the memory card to someone else's PlayStation and be able to play it on theirs as well. So for G Surfers, we paid, it works out about 83p, goes for £1 at CEX and £6 on eBay. Then next up, we've got a couple of PS3 games, and this next one was actually one that I've been after for absolutely ages, but just never seen it out and about, and that is Layer. So this is a PS3 launch title, and what made this one really unique is that it was one of the only, if not the only, PS3 game that actually used the 6-axis motion controller. So when the PS3 first launched, it actually came with a 6-axis controller, and then later on down the line they then released the DualShock 3, which had sort of like the vibration motors and everything like that in. But the 6-axis controller actually had motion capability. And basically what you do is when you're playing this, you are essentially riding on the back of a dragon, and you use the controller. And let me grab my controller. So you basically hold your controller as you should. You can either sort of tilt it left and right to basically bank left and right, raise it up or push it down to actually go up or go down. And yeah, it actually worked really well. I've never had the chance to use the motion control on the PS3. And yeah, it was really interesting to use. And I will say, it just worked. I don't want to sound like I work at Bethesda, but yeah, it did. It just worked. So yeah, it is a game that I've been after for quite a while. As I say, because it was a launch title, and one thing I do like to try, one sort of mini type of collection that I go for on each platform, is to get the launch titles. But the fact that it obviously had this unique control scheme, really wanted to try it out, and actually really happy to have it in the collection. The only problem with it is it doesn't come with the manual, so it is one I'm either going to have to try and track down another copy of it with the manual, or just try and track down the manual. But it isn't an expensive game. It's just not one that I've ever seen before. So we worked out we paid 83p for that. Goes for £150 at CEX and £3 on eBay. And then the next one as well was also essentially a replacement, basically. And that is Def Jam Rap Star. And yeah, we have previously picked this up from the boot fair, but when I got home, looked at the disc, I put the disc through my cleaner sort of several times, tried to restore the disc, but the disc was just beyond repair. It was all pitted, it was just destroyed. So yeah, when I saw this there, I decided to grab it and actually replace the other one that was broken. So that one once again works out at 83p, goes for £1 at CEX and £3 on eBay. And then the last pickup that I made from this seller, so was that? No, that's 6. So I think it's 6 for £3 or 6 for £4, something like that. I can't work it out. This one isn't actually a game, but this was bought for a particular reason, and that is the HD DVD version of The Thing. So I think we've got a HD DVD in the collection, but it's some lovey-dovey romance film, and I've got no intentions of ever watching it. But I've wanted a HD DVD to actually test out my Xbox 360 HD DVD, and yeah, decided I saw this there. Basically, this is an amazing film. I absolutely love this film. So yeah, when I saw that there, I was like, you know what, let's grab that on the HD DVD. And then yeah, we will test out the Xbox. So I haven't had a chance to test it all out yet, because at the moment my Xbox 360 DVD drive is actually buried right towards the bottom of the bookcase, and I've got loads of stuff literally just behind the camera. So yeah, I'll dig that out soon, get that tested, and then yeah, hopefully it's all up and working. So once again, 83p for that, goes for £2 at CEX and £5 on eBay. Then we move on to a bundle, like a massive lot of Xbox One games. So these two bundles come from two separate sellers. So the first two games that we got here come from one seller, and the first one is going to be a double that we're going to trade in, and that is Fallout 4. So that one, we paid £2 for that, goes for £5 at CEX and £5 on eBay, which does only land us a £2 voucher. So unfortunately, no real point for picking that up. But what I am going to do is, it does come with the manual, the map and everything. So I'm going to check what my the copy that I've currently got in the collection's like, and if it is missing, I'm going to sort of mix and match so that we can get the best copy in the collection. Then the next game is not one that we've got in the collection. It's one I'm actually really happy to finally have, and that is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So I think I've said on previous videos, I am not a massive fan of the Tomb Raider games, but I will say that the remake games I think are really good. I really enjoyed them. I love the control schemes, love the graphics, love the stories, and yeah, just think they're really well made games. And yeah, this was another one. Absolutely loved capturing the footage for this. So I think normally I tend to aim for about 10 minutes worth of gameplay for the videos. I think I ended up closing in on about, I was well over half an hour. I was like, no, I'm just going to get to the next bit. Just the next bit. Just the next bit. So yeah, really looking forward to getting back to that. What I actually want to do is I want to go play the whole remake trilogy. So start off with Tomb Raider, then go to the second one, which I can't remember what it's called, and then on to this one, which is the third game in the series. So for that one, once again, paid £2 for that, goes for £6 at CEX and £8 on eBay. Then this other bundle we picked up, it's got 5 games in it, and the last one that we got was actually one that I've had on my wish list, so really chuffed to have that. But the first one that we've got is Watch Dogs Legions. So yeah, for those of you that saw Tuesday's video, I actually went through and completely sorted out my Xbox shelf. So all the shelves were doubled up, and what I've done is I've taken all the games out that I didn't really have any desire to play. So they've all gone into storage, and essentially what we're doing now is we're doing one in, one out. But one of the series that we actually took out of the Xbox One shelf was the Watch Dogs series, purely because I've actually got them all on a PS4. That's where I originally played them all, so that is where I will play them going forward. So yeah, this one is just going to go straight into storage, but glad to have it in the collection, because that means I've got the whole trilogy on both the PS4 and the Xbox One. I actually think with this one, we've actually got 3 copies of this now. So we've got the Xbox One, the PS5 version, which I bought just after it came out, and then I've also got the PS4 version, which we picked up recently. So yeah, really happy to have that one. For that one, we paid £3. Goes for £3 at CEX, £6 on eBay. Then next up, a game that I was quite surprised that we didn't already have it on the Xbox One, but looking through, couldn't see it, and that was Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. So I know I've got it on the PS4, but yeah, really surprised that we didn't have it on the Xbox One. So yeah, I've played these briefly. I have to admit, I am not a big fan of sort of the medieval type games, or that sort of era, should we say. As I say, it was more the fact that we didn't have it, so that's why I grabbed it. £3 at CEX. Sorry, £3 paid, £2 at CEX, £4 on eBay. And then in addition to that, we've also got the Shadows of Mordor Game of the Year edition. So once again, it was in with a bundle. I will keep it because once again, it's not one that we've got. And I don't mind adding variations to the collection. So once again, £3 for that, and that goes for £4 on both CEX and eBay. Then this next one, I'm pretty sure I've heard of it, but playing it, I don't recognise it, and yeah, it's not a game that was really on my radar, and that is Greedfall. So yeah, this is a bit of an interesting game. Obviously, I've not played too much of it, probably only about sort of 10 minutes, just capturing footage for the video. It's definitely one of those ones that is going to be a slow burner, and it's going to take time to sort of build up into sort of like the story and the main bit of action. But yeah, looking forward to actually giving this one a bit more of a go. I will say, graphically, it was low end. Definitely low end Xbox One, but yeah, still could be an interesting one. That one, £3 paid, £6 on eBay, and £6 at CEX, £6.50 on eBay. And then this last one, as I say, was one that was on my wish list, and really glad to actually have this in the collection. This is a sequel, so I am going to have to try and track down the first one, and that is Remothered Broken Porcelain. So this is a survival horror game, and essentially in this one, I will admit I don't know the story. I vaguely know the story of the first one, but with this one, you play a girl who is essentially in what I think it is like a girls sort of like young offenders sort of institute in like the 1970s, and then you get sort of all these supernatural things happen, and you've basically got to survive in this big. It's an ex-hotel that's been turned into basically a girls' dormitory, and yeah, it's a really weird one to get into because there's literally no instructions. You might on the loading screens you'll get like if someone's chasing you, you're best to run. But it's just a very strange one to follow. As I say, I am going to try and track down the first one, so I've got both of them, and then that way I can play the first one and then move on to the second, because when you actually start this, it does ask you if you want a rundown of the first game. So yeah, it does seem like they're both linked with regards to the story. So once again, pay £3 for that, goes for £8 at CEX and £10 on eBay. So before we get on to the last couple of pickups from the boot fair, I want to actually go through a couple of bits that we've picked up from Nikki. So while we were out at the boot fair, Nikki managed to get an absolutely amazing Atari and PS1 bundle. And essentially I bought the lot off him. So first off, we've got a whole stack of Atari games. So what we got, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 Atari car onlys. The first two we have already got in the collection. So that is Star Raiders, and yeah, I think this was one that actually used a slightly different controller. I think it was one that had basically a keypad on it. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to play any of the Atari games yet. So yeah, I am trying to get stuff set up so that yeah, I can play the Atari a bit more often. But that one, looking it up online, goes for $7.50 on eBay. Then the other double that we've got is a copy of Centipede. So yeah, once again, an absolute classic. And yeah, one that I will pop into the Atari as soon as I can. This one goes for £7 on eBay. Then the rest of these games are all brand new. We don't have any of these in the collection at the moment. So we've got Kung Fu Super Kicks, Pursuit of the Ninja. Yeah, never heard of it. Don't have any clue what it's about. Well, I'm assuming it's about Kung Fu. But yeah, looking forward to giving that one a go. That one sells for £8 on eBay. Then we've got a bit of a grubby version of Grand Prix. So yeah, this was one that I've seen footage of this throughout the years, and yeah, one that's a good one to have in the collection. So this one sells for £10 on eBay. Then another one I've not heard of is Space Shuttle. Yeah, Space Shuttle Journey into Space. Yeah, don't know anything about this one. Obviously, it's going to be about space shuttles, we know that, but yeah, never seen any gameplay for this. That one goes for £10 on eBay. Then we've got Freeway International Edition. So yeah, obviously being called Freeway, it's about an American motorway, and actually looking at the picture on the cover, through all the dirt and that, it looks like it's going to be something like a Frogger clone. So yeah, it could be an interesting one. That one goes for £12 on eBay. Then this next one was actually one of the ones that initially I was going to buy on its own before me and Nikki come up with a deal on buying all of them, and that was Kangaroo. So yeah, never heard of this one before. It was purely driven by the picture. So yeah, this is one, it's probably going to be the first one that I give a go as soon as I get the time. This one goes for £8 on eBay. Then we've got Enduro. So looking at the picture on the front, looks like a racing game. So yeah, not too sure on that one. That one goes for £19. So that is actually the most expensive one out of all of the carts that we got off Nikki. Then we've got Combat. Once again, don't know anything about this one. Never heard of it. So yeah, it'd be interested to see what that looks like. That one goes for £5 on eBay. And we've got 3 more left. First off, we've got Stampede. So looking at the picture on the front, you've basically got to lasso stampeding cattle, I believe it is. So yeah, another one, be interesting to see what that one's like. That one goes for £8 on eBay. Then we've got Circus Atari. Once again, no clue on this one, but yeah, it was there, and we'll have a look at it at some point. That one goes for £6, and then the last one, I'm pretty sure this was another one that I had my eye out for initially, and that is Moon Patrol. Once again, purely driven by the picture on the front, and I will say it's actually in really good condition. So yeah, looking forward to giving this one a go. And that one also goes for £12 on eBay. So for all of the Atari carts, we actually managed to get those for £25. So yeah, a big shout out to Nikki for that one. Really chuffed to have them. But in addition to that, Nikki also decided to make my life a whole lot harder by also doing me a deal on a whole stack of PS1 games. So yeah, at the moment I've been picking up PS1 games left, right and centre recently. Don't know why they've been so prevalent recently, but yeah, if they're ones that I haven't got in the collection, I am not complaining. But at the moment, I haven't actually got the space to put any new ones on the shelf. I think since we've done that big pickup a couple of months ago from the Game Collector, all of those games that I got from then and any that I've got since have all gone in a box. And yeah, I just haven't had a chance to sort through the PS1 games yet to get them out. So I think that will probably be the next part of the collection that we sort through. Probably the PS1, the PS2, and if we get time, the PS3. But yeah, as I say, for now, we've got a whole stack here. What we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We've got 12 PS1 games. And out of these, there's only one that's a double. And that is Cool Borders 3, the Platinum Edition. So I think we've got both the Platinum and the Black Label for this in the collection already. That one goes for £6 on eBay. Then we've got Army Men, Land, Sea and Air. And I have to say, I actually enjoyed this one. So, any other Army Men game that I've played, I've absolutely hated them. But this one I actually really enjoyed. Once again, it's another one that I will probably spend a bit more time playing off camera. But yeah, really enjoyed that one. That one also goes for £6. Then this next one is actually one that it's another Army Men game. We've got a copy of it on the PS2. And that is Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2. And yeah, I remember playing this on the PS2 thinking that it was an awful game. Really, really was. So when I was looking at the footage that I'd previously captured, I was like, I swear I played this. And when I looked, I saw it was the PS2 version. And I was like, I could use that, but then there's going to be graphical differences, and no, let's chuck it in and play it. And I loved it. It was a completely different game from what was released on the PS2. PS2 was basically, well, they were both sort of open, like sort of 3D environments. But I just found that this controlled better, played better, and I just enjoyed it more. I think I've done a couple of missions on it. And yeah, it's amazing how different what you think are two of the same game across two different platforms, how they can be so much difference. So yeah, really happy with that one. £7 it goes for on eBay. Then these next two are both wrestling games, so we don't spend too much time on wrestling games. We've got WWF SmackDown 2. That one goes for $3.50, or no, it doesn't. It goes for £9 on eBay. And then we've also got WWF Warzone. I think we've recently got the box for this on the. Yes, we have the N64. I remember picking up the box for this because we had the cart, and yeah, managed to get the box for a good deal. This one goes for $3.50 on eBay. Then next up, we've got another motocross game. A glutton for punishment when it comes to these. So this is Champion Motocross featuring Ricky Carmichael. And yeah, looking this one up online, this goes for £12 on eBay. So I actually think this, no, is not the most expensive game that we've got in this bundle. Yeah, once again, this wasn't as bad as the PS4 motocross game that we played earlier. But yeah, still not one that I'm going to be rushing back to play. Then next up, we've got FIFA Football 2002. Yeah, with regards to the FIFAs, if I don't have them in the collection, I'll always pick them up. That one goes for £5 on eBay. Right, then we've got Deadball Zone. So I will admit, when I first got this out, I thought it was going to be like a dodgeball type game, but it's not. You're essentially in like a square arena, and there's 2 goals per side. I'll be honest, playing it, I got absolutely trounced. I had no clue what the controls were or anything like that. So yeah, not one I'm going to be rushing back to play. Looking that one up online, that goes for £6 on eBay. And then the top pick out of these games was NBA Hoops. So I think I've heard of this one before, and heard that it's quite a sought after game. Looking it up online, it sells for about £30 on eBay. So yeah, really happy to have that. With regards to the gameplay, it wasn't my favourite basketball game. Definitely played others that I've enjoyed a lot more. But yeah, even still, nice to have it in the collection. Then we've got Spec Ops Stealth Patrol. Once again, it was an alright game. Not amazing. It's basically just a third-person shooter, not a first-person. I think when I was clearing out the Xbox games, I had a couple of these on the Xbox, and yeah, thought that they were first-person shooters, but they're not. They're actually third-person shooters. That one goes for £4. Then next up is actually the only PS1 game that we've got in this bundle that I could actually find at CEX. and that is Midway presents Arcade's Greatest Hits, the Atari Collection 2. So yeah, this has got some really good games on it. So we've got Paperboy, Gauntlet, Road Blasters, 3 games that are absolutely iconic. I will say I was a bit disappointed playing this. Obviously I was capturing this on my PS2, so I don't know if it would work better on a PS1, but when I tried to play Paperboy, it was just completely glitched and just completely unplayable. But then when I went on to sort of Road Blasters and Gauntlet, they worked perfectly. So yeah, I'm going to have a look. Maybe this needs to go through the cleaner. But yeah, hopefully I can get that working. As I say, next time I'll try it on one of the PS1s. That one goes for £8 at CEX, £9 on eBay. And then the final game that we got was Thrasher presents Skate and Destroy. Now, when I was, so this is essentially, I don't know at what point it was released, but it was either a early version of Tony Hawk's, or it was a Tony Hawk's clone. As I say, not sure which come first. Yeah, it wasn't awful, but it was definitely no Tony Hawk. So that one goes for £10 on eBay. And yeah, really happy with some of these PS1 games. Some really good pickups. Once again, for that whole stack of 12 PS1 games, we paid £25. So once again, massive shout out to Nikki for giving us such a great deal on those. But that isn't all. We've got 3 more games that we picked up from Nikki. And the first one that we've got is a PS3 game, and this is the Steelbook edition of the Turok remake. I haven't actually ever played this. I've only ever played the originals, and actually thought this was really good. This was another one where I sort of started to get a bit engrossed in it. It was only the fact that it come to sort of like the end of a level that I was like, okay, right, on to the next one. So yeah, happy to have this one in the collection. Another steelbook for the PS3 wall. So that one, paid £2 for that, goes for £4 at CEX, £7 on eBay. Then we got Mario vs Donkey Kong 2, the March of the Minis. So yeah, we have got the first game in this series in the DS collection. Obviously, it has we've recently had a release on the Switch as well, so we'll look to pick that up at some point. But yeah, decided to pick this up, and yeah, I'll add it in and probably give it a go at some point. This one, paid £2 for that, goes for £10 at CEX and £9 on eBay. And then the last pickup from Nikki was actually a sealed PSP game. So that is Juiced Emulator, and yeah, it is sealed. It's the PAL version, and yeah, I will admit I could not find any PAL versions of this sealed on eBay. The only ones I could find were NTSC. So we paid £6 for it, and as I say, the cheapest version that I could see that was sealed was the US version. And that goes for £40. So yeah, a really good pickup there. It is one I'm going to leave it sealed. I'm not going to open it, and yeah, we'll get it added to the PSP shelf. Right, so we have got 4 more games, and yeah, these are some absolutely brilliant games. Really happy to have them. So the first one that we've got is Nihon 2. We have got the first version, the first game in the series on the PS4. So yeah, when I saw that there, decided to grab it so that I've got both of them to go together. It goes for £2, paid £2, sorry. Goes for £6 at CEX, $11.50 on eBay. Then next up we've got a Xbox 360 limited edition. So luckily it's not going to go in the shelf, it's going to go straight up the top. And that is Dark Souls limited edition. So this is the game. It comes with the art book, and yeah, we have actually, I want to admit I did have to look, but we have got Dark Souls already. on the Xbox 360, but we don't have the limited edition version. So yeah, happy to have that one. That one, we paid £5 for that. Looking it up online, I can only find it on eBay, and that goes for £20 on eBay. Then the next game was actually one that I've been dying to get. It was a PS3 game that was then re-released on the PS4. So we've got the PS4 version, and that is Shadow of the Colossus. So yeah, absolutely over the moon to finally have a copy of this in the collection. When I was playing through it, I did play through until I basically defeated the first Colossi, and yeah, it is just a stunning game. It really, really is. And yeah, definitely one I'm going to be putting a bit more time into as soon as I get the time. So paid £10 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for £15 at CEX, £11 on eBay. And then the final game for today was actually going to be a Xbox 360 game, and that is Fear Files. So this is a standalone version of the expansion packs that were released for the original Fear game. Currently, I have got Fear 2 and Fear 3 on the Xbox 360. So yeah, now I've got this, definitely need to track down the first one so that I can have the complete set. But yeah, really, really happy to have this. And yeah, this was an absolutely monumental pickup because we paid £15 for it. Looking it up online, it goes for £28 at CEX and £38 on eBay. So yeah, really, really chuffed to have that in the collection. And yeah, when I saw it there, it was one of the first games that I picked up. So that is going to wrap it up for today, and I'm just looking at the time, so I am going to sort of get it wrapped up quite quickly. So before we go, let's run through the totals. So our total spend today was £143 and 40p. If we'd bought everything we could from CEX, it would have been £259. And then if we'd got everything from eBay, we'd be looking at £654 and 50p. So yeah, really, really good pickups there. But in addition to that, we've also got all of the bits that we're going to trade into CEX. And the total voucher value for everything, all the doubles that we've got, is £53 and 80p. So even if we just take that £53, that is going to be a massive step towards my next CEX ambition. So yes. Right, so with that, that is going to wrap up the video for today. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.